Well, the luckiest thing that I ever did when I was managing soccer programs at the MVLA Soccer Club was to ask Kevin if he would help me. I remember collecting the registration material each season, at the beginning of each season, forms, checks, pictures from every kid, signatures, all that stuff. It was complete mayhem. Until the one time that I must have been out of town, and we asked Kevin, could he help with registration? And Kevin said, sure, of course he'd help. And before you knew it, he had a website that parents could upload their pictures into. He had a shared Dropbox where parents can fill out their forms, scan them, download the forms to the Dropbox. He set up a payment system online. When I thought about Kevin and his ability to spend the time to make things better, and the way that he responded to emails in 10 nanoseconds and seemed to be everywhere at every practice and every game and had spent time with his family the way he did, I thought for sure he must have a much easier life than I did. Up until I found out that just like me, he was a COO at a high-tech company. And unlike me, instead of the 2 boys that I had, he had 4 kids. So that really blew me away. How could he do it? How could he have 4 kids? How can he have a high-tech executive job and still more and more lend himself to the club to the point that ultimately he became president of the board?
I don't know. I mean, I barely managed to balance schoolwork and my homework and all that. And I see him working hours and still spending time with family, doing a whole bunch of different things. He's constantly on phone calls, doing different things on the computer, managing different parts, helping out other people figure out what they need to do with their soccer. I mean, he does all these different things, but yet he makes sure he has a lot of time to spend helping us each with homework if we need it, or eating dinner with us, taking us out to do other things. I mean, he's always there.
Going to the games on the weekend. Today we're going to Hayward and then Modesto. Drives aren't as much fun, but the drives are a good time to connect and have good conversations. You know, my wife goes, or whoever, whichever child or children are going with me. It's a good time to talk and kind of connect with them and understand more about what's going on in their head and school and all that. And I enjoy relaxing at the games. You're there to watch them play. It's all about them, and the whole point is to make sure they're having fun. Kicking around in the backyard. When we're at one of my kids' games and another one comes before the game and at halftime, you know, we'll kick around. So it's trying to enjoy every minute you're doing something, even if it's just relaxing at home, watching a game, hanging out, eating dinner, whatever it happens to be.
When I think about being a COO, for me it's about having a clear strategic objective, knowing where you want to go. But there's another piece of execution that's really important, and that has to do with motivating people. So what Kevin brings to the table, I think, is this passion, this knack for actually listening to people. And at the end of the day, it's not surprising at all that the company he works for keeps getting voted the best place to work for in the Bay Area.
Yeah, we've won the San Francisco Best Places to Work in the Bay Area 3 times in the past 6 years. I think a lot of it is about trust. I think they feel that, you know, as management, we really trust them. We allow them to be very entrepreneurial.
I interned with this company this summer, and everyone there has huge respect for him, how organized he is, how smart he is, how he still treats everyone very well. And I went to a few meetings with him, and just he's always extremely organized and on point.
So I studied math and computer science. I think that more prepared me just with a good background to learn and hopefully to listen and observe and try and problem solve than anything else. So I'm the Chief Operating Officer. I'm really in charge of making sure that we are delivering successfully for our clients, heavily involved in sales, business development, recruiting, and just on the overall people side.
Kevin's been playing soccer since he's a kid, and he really enjoys the game, and he really wants his kids and the kids in the program to have fun. It comes down to exactly that. How do we get the kids to love the game?
I think one of the biggest things is connecting with the players. It can't be overrated how important it is to make sure the coach has that connection, understands the players outside of soccer as well, to connect to them. If you can get people to love the game and be passionate and give it their all, then you're gonna go far and they're gonna go far. We've had a lot of growth over the past 5 years, probably grown from, I think, 600 players to over 1,200 in about 4 or 5 years, 40 teams to about 80 teams. So I'm chairman of the board right now. You know, I like being involved. I really like being involved. I like hopefully trying to make a difference and help us grow and get to some of the things we talked about earlier in terms of the right coaching, the right quality.
When I was a kid growing up in Brazil, the good teams, the teams that won championships, typically they had a very strong number 8. Number 8 is that midfielder that would carry the ball to the attack when your team had just recovered the ball. It was also the first midfielder to run back to defense when your team lost the ball. And when I think about Kevin, I think about the piano carrier, the player that brings the ball up, the player that's the first one back, does all the heavy lifting for the team.
While it's a lot of work, a lot of it's not stressful, and I'm doing this, anything with MVLA to help out and try and make it a better club. And even when it's stressful, if I can kind of take a step back and take a deep breath, it's fun, and I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy seeing where it goes. I actually grew up about a half mile from where I live right now, in Los Altos. I've lived here my whole life. I grew up playing soccer. I started playing at 5, played tennis, and kind of stuck to soccer and tennis for most of my life. Not a good loser, did not like to lose in anything I did, or when my teams lost, I was not very happy. I've mellowed out hopefully a little bit since then, but the passion still stays there with all of that.